Hey Reddit, what is your favorite fact about the universe that just blows your mind? The fact that a physicist studying an atom is essentially atoms trying to understand themselves. Pretty cool really. Sentience. Totally makes no sense. I can understand how a chemical reaction can create complicated molecules that recreate themselves through further chain reactions, and I can understand how these molecules and reactions can become more complicated and group together, because that's simply the most likely way for them to keep happening according to their environment, and I can understand how this could lead to things that look like starfish and trees and algae and monkeys. I can even imagine how these complex chemical reactions could send complicated signals to each other and store information in various complicated ways, both internally and externally, in order to perpetuate themselves, and I can see how this might look like emotion and sympathy and friendship to an outside observer, but it makes no sense to me at all that a chemical reaction we can think and feel in actuality, any more than a computer or a river system can. Does this make sense to anyone else? This has always bothered me. This is called the hard problem of consciousness. It's considered one of the great unsolved problems in philosophy. And of course, since philosophy is just discussing ideas, this is one of the biggest unsolved problems the human race has ever asked. The fact that we can mathematically prove that some things are mathematically impossible. It always blows me away that every star you see is some sun or galaxy, and that you are potentially staring right at something that may harbor intelligent life staring right back at you. Just thinking about what I'm looking at when I look up at the night sky always mind ducks me. Except they would have been staring back at us as Earth existed millions of years ago. Sure, and vice versa. It really gets me that another intelligent being could be doing the exact same thing as me, looking in my general direction, and neither of us would ever be the wiser. That even the most dense objects are mostly empty space. The universe is seemingly endless. We, as humans, are so used to things having edges and boundaries. The idea of something being so endless mind ducks me all the time. This is me as well. My brain cannot comprehend the fact that there is nothing containing our universe. Just thinking about it makes me want to scream. You're essentially looking back in time when you look at the stars. Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. Arthur C. Clarke. Similarly, either the universe is infinite or it isn't. Both are equally mind-blowing. Between this and the size of the known universe, it's just something I can't wrap my head around. I feel like I'm just smart enough to know that I know nothing about the universe. When you turn on a television set on an news channel, 1% of the static is background radiation from the ducking Big Bang 7 billion years ago. Look at the Earth song ham radio operators here. Spooky. The complexity of the human body. Sometimes I get all freaked out thinking about how my body doesn't just shut down. Like, why doesn't my blood stop dead in my veins, or my nerves just stop sending signals? It all seems so fragile and carefully set up. Absolute nothing. Like, say there was nothing at all. No universe, no element, nothing. How could there be nothing? What would the nothing be compared to? Duckman. I've wondered about this too, but the human brain didn't evolve to think about things like this, so it's incomprehensible. Still mind-blowing to try though. When we think about there not being a universe, it's associated with thinking about there not being an us, and paradoxically there needs to be an us to know there's not an us, which I think is what makes it so hard to think about. That the universe is expanding. Still. Solar system, galaxies, star clusters and superclusters just don't get at the sheer magnitude of the thing. That far may seem like a walk to the nearest gas station when you run out of gas, but there is no measure small enough to represent that distance when you talk about the vastness of space. There are more stars in the sky than all the grains of sand on all the beaches of the world. Just think about that for a bit. Just think. Every grain of sand on a beach. Then all of the beaches of the world. And now, each of those can be seen in the night sky when you look up. That, when given enough time, Hydrogen begins to wonder about where it came from and where it's going. No matter how much I ponder and wonder the universe's splendor, I still have to go to work tomorrow. The fact that you can never really touch something always amazes me, makes you feel so alone. MC Hammer speaks the truth. I can't fathom how the circumstances that brings people together in a same place at the same time. Imagine you have lived 20 years of your life without ever knowing this person, and in this moment in time you are both sitting here in the same room, but have had different paths to get here. It's not really about the universe, but humans are the most complex things ever. Like most people, I enjoy contemplating these things in traffic. The person driving that car in front of me has a life, a history. They went to school, had friends, have family, have ancestral generations spanning years and years. They have likes and dislikes, and they will continue doing just that, even when they are no longer in front of me, and I potentially may never see them or anyone from their family again. Like when I found out my son went to school at a high school that I drove past every morning to get to my school. I think about the times I may have seen him, maybe even made eye contact with him, and neither of us would have ever known who the other was, let alone that we would one day fall in love. That we all come from the same place, that we are connected to every single star, planet, comet, every single thing in this universe, as long as you believe in the Big Bang. Every single atom in the universe has a gravitational pull on you and vice versa. From a single iron atom in the Earth's core to a black hole millions of light years away, it's all pulling on you. Mind blown. HTTP, Imga, Contage. The universe created something to understand itself. The number of stars in the universe, the number of stars we can see naked eye, would just about equal the number of grains of sand that could fit in a thimble. The number of stars in our galaxy would equal the amount of sand that could fit in a wheelbarrow. For the number of stars in the universe, imagine being stopped at a train track with boxcars filled with sand going by, one every second. To equal the amount of stars in the universe, you'd have to sit at that crossing for over 3 years. That's a lot of stars. Edit. Changed a mistake on the number of years. Sorry. The entire concept of cosmic microwave background radiation. The Big Bang happened because there was a probability that it would, and no other reason. That the amount of time until the heat death of the universe is so large, there are more atoms in the universe than the number of years from now until th. More atoms. Or less, that's the one. So mind-blowing I can't even say it properly. If the Earth were shrunk to the size of a pool ball, it would be smooth enough to pass as a regulation ball. Obviously it wouldn't pass the roundness test though. Alternatively, if a random pool ball was blown up to the size of the Earth, it could have mountains and trenches as big 25 kilometers. Everest is just under 9 kilometers. Mariana Trench is 11 kilometers. That one of these times, I should be able to run right through this goddamn wall. My doctor says it's not true, and it will just lead to more concussions, but physics. You're more likely to only run halfway through the wall. Imagine getting a couple millimeters in. You would have won the reality lottery. Sony only officially released the PS2 in Brazil in 2009. 2009. I still can't believe it's not butter. You must be a deeply suspicious individual. It's been 30 years. Trust. It's 9 hours old, but I don't even care. My friend blew me away with this sheet last night. If we could instantly teleport across the universe to the nearest star, and had a strong enough telescope, the light from Earth would take years to reach it. In essence, the further we could teleport away from Earth and still see it, we could see Earth as it was in the past for ourselves. Imagine seeing real images of ducking live dinosaurs. We are the universe trying to figure itself out. The vast and various assemblies of atoms and molecules from giant stars that once exploded, that has risen to such complexity that we are conscious and can understand ourselves and the stuff we are made of. Every living sentient, past, present, and future, throughout all of the existence, over the billions of years past and billions of years to come, on every planet, around every star in every galaxy, where consciousness arises, will be so. A 4-year-old child asks over 400 questions per day. Kids are our future and universe. Feed their curiosity. Other fun fact. The average adult can swim through the arteries in a grey whale's heart. Yet they filter feed on krill, which are itty bitty shrimp. Krill. I love how we name something so tiny and innocuous in such a way that it sounds like some horror out of Warhammer 40,000. Why aren't they called weebers or something cute? And piranhas are called krill. That on this planet alone there are so many thoughts and points of views and actions and all sorts of things going on among 7 billion people, but all of that combined is just a speck of dust compared to the rest of the universe. I read an article about how some scientists think that our universe is in a black hole. The Big Bang was caused by another galaxy being sucked into the hole and caused it. I like to believe this because it blows my mind every time I think about it. That would explain why space is dark. We're in a hole. The fact that, given the sheer size of the universe, on distant planets civilizations have risen and fallen along with races and species unimaginable to us. Following on from this, we are the most intelligent species we know of, and look at how much we know about the universe. We are the universe thinking and experiencing itself. But imagine just how intelligent the most intelligent species in the universe is. Just imagine what they think about the universe. Just imagine what the collective knowledge of the universe thinks. Edit. Spelling. Just imagine if we are the most intelligent species in the universe. How stupid must the rest of them be? The first intelligence would naturally have wondered if they were the first intelligence, and they were. How empty it is. A cold, dead desert, vast beyond reason, infinitesimally punctuated by minute oases of fiery desert. If the entire history of the Earth were compressed into a single 24-hour day, modern humans would only occupy the final 3 seconds of the day. Since mass is energy, E equals mc², we are all technically walking nuclear explosions that decided to stay together. Magnets.